And middlemen warned against engaging in grow project in Moyo district. This and more in the NILEcast News Bulletin. Welcome viewers to the NILEcast on Yon West Nile Television. Let's dive straight into the stories that have made headlines tonight. Women have been urged to embrace government projects for economic transformation. This call was passed during the capacity building for women market vendors organized by the Strategic Initiative in the Horn of Africa, who all expressed their gratitude for this initiative to help women in the country. Take a look.
Women in West Nile region and other parts of the country are asked to embrace government projects such as GROW and Parts Development Model, commonly known as PDM, in order to transform and expand their economic status. This call was passed during capacity building for women market vendors, organized by Strategic Initiative in the Horn of Africa, commonly known as SIHA, in a district at Hotel Le Confidentiel, involving different stakeholders such as men allies, cultural leaders, local authorities, security personnel, among others, who all expressed their gratitude over this brilliant move. Badar Florence, GROW Project Aro City focal person, highlights the public about the project and the procedures of accessing the loan.
GROW project is a 5-year project that started last year, 20th January, to end in 30th December 2027. This is government initiative. The implementing agents is Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and implementing partner is Public Center Foundation. GROW money is in the 6 banks, and these 6 banks are Finance Trust Bank, Post Bank, Stanbic Bank, Equity Bank, and DFCU. All the GROW monies are in these banks. I encourage our women to go and access the GROW funds in all the 6 banks.
Meanwhile, Anguyo Godfrey, Aro City Youth Councillor Ivo East, encourages women to access these loan facilities since their interest rates are cheap for economic transformation.
I want to encourage women that if you look at the current market rates of loans, this is one of the cheapest loans, the second to PDM, because PDM is 6% up to the entire 2 years. Actually, PDM is the cheapest. And then also we have now GROW, which is 10.5% for 1 year. So I want to encourage women that the time is now for you to wake up, to access these loan facilities so that you can be able to expand your business. Then the quality cannot only be said, but we must act. One of the action that the government is taking is also through creating avenues that women can be able to be empowered economically.
Moso Jack Bless, SIHA Uganda Project Officer, says these government initiatives are for empowering women, and as organization the network to provide linkage for these women.
Generally, these initiatives are initiatives that are there out there to benefit the women, empower women, and make them come out and stand out as well in public. So for us as an organization, all we are doing is advocate for these spaces, provide spaces for these women to come out and speak, but also link them to other different networks and also the banks and the government initiatives or funds like GROW and PDM.
Similarly, Chande Florence, market vendor at Diofe Market, says government initiatives are brilliant ideas, therefore shall be in person to spread the gospel to her colleagues.
With the knowledge they have impacted us with, we shall go out and also help our colleagues outside there to also know about it, especially GROW loan. Those ones who are outside there, I think they have not known about it. For me, I'm ready to also go and impact them with the knowledge about GROW loan. It is a very good initiative because, you know, we persons with disability, in those days, people normally think about us negatively, but these days, many organizations came to open our eyes, and also government has looked through us to also make us to be one part of this.
In the Vincent Meli, Deputy Speaker Aro City concludes by saying, as the Aro City Council, They are committed to cooperate with the SIHA for economic empowerment amidst these women.
We need to exchange ideas and see how in other areas others are doing well, so that where we are doing badly, we learn from them. With this empowerment, I want to believe as a city, we have already taken a step. With the strong statement here, the City Council is committed to work together with the SIHA to handle the issues which have been raised for better delivery of services to our women and their families.
GROW is a government project that aims to respond to the needs of women entrepreneurs to expand their businesses. Meanwhile, the party's development model focuses on increasing household incomes and improve the lives of Ugandans. Then SIHA advocates for women's rights to stand out in the communities. Oraku Benson Pastore, Christine Okumuringa, West Nile Television Nilecast.
Moving on to Zombo District, the Office of the Prime Minister has delivered over 400 iron sheets to the churches in Zombo District. The delivery took place on Wednesday, the 2nd of October 2024 at Zombo District Local Government Headquarters, where the beneficiaries were tasked to make use of the iron sheets to its intended purposes. Take a look.
The symbol of faith and generosity has the Office of the Prime Minister donated 490 iron sheets to support 4 churches and a market in Ora constituency, Zombo District. While receiving the iron sheets on Wednesday, 2nd October at Zombo District Local Government Headquarters, Mr. David Lubuka, Chief Administrative Officer, Zombo District, welcomed the officials from the Office of the Prime Minister to Zombo District. Lubuka urged the beneficiaries to make use of the iron sheets.
The government all along has been having plans to assist certain groups and individuals with these items. As the representative from OPM will actually explain the whole program, it is still ongoing since last year, and they will continue to help the community until the program ends.
Bruno Manano, Assistant Resident District Commissioner Zombo, warned the beneficiaries against diverting the iron sheets in exchange of other building materials. According to Manano, the iron sheets were given to support local institutions at grassroots.
Make good use of these Mabati sheets. Never divert their intended use. Now there are people who will begin saying, let us use this now. No, maybe we sell it and buy maybe cement because you have been liking cement. No, make it to its proper use. The government did not give it for you to sell it or to do any other thing apart from what you are supposed to do with it.
Meanwhile, Honorable Kushin Grace Freedom, Senior Presidential Advisor, lauded the church leaders for patiently waiting for the iron sheets since last year, 2023. Honorable Kushin added that the iron sheets were part of her assignment before she handed office to the incumbent State Minister for Northern Uganda.
The minister who took over from me said, whatever I have already planned, whatever I've already put in action, he will pick from where I have left. And those of you who know, some of you got iron sheets already, but they were not enough for the roof. So some of you are receiving iron sheets to add on that number, so that when we see the roof, we see same color, we see same design, and it will be clear and easy to say this house was supported by Office of the Prime Minister.
Umua Catholic Chapel received 145, and Rashi Pentecostal Churches of Uganda 100, Omedo Market 90, Papoga Catholic Chapel 70, and Kuyeng Catholic Chapel 85 respectively. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
More in our stories, moving on to Arad City. Hundreds, among whom include partners, market women, ghetto youths, and students, among others, turned up to celebrate the International World Peace Day in Arua City. This was at the OPM grounds, organized by SIHA Network in partnership with many other organizations, where messages of peace promotion were passed. Take a look. Arua City today, on the 3rd of October 2024, joined the rest of the world in celebrating the World Peace Day at the OPM grounds in Arua City. The day is celebrated annually across the globe to celebrate the power of the global solidarity for building peaceful and sustainable world. SIA Uganda, in partnership with Arua City and several other organizations like CARE International, CEFOD and Uganda Law Society, among others, teamed up to organize the day where hundreds stand up to be part of the event. Jackie Bless, the project officer of SIA Uganda, says there is need for more empowerment of citizens to ensure total peace.
Peace to us just doesn't mean peace or the absence of war. For us, peace is more than the absence of war. It doesn't mean that there is war, there is no peace, there is no war, there is peace. A lot happens. There is sexual violence, there is theft and high crime rates that affect our engagement within the city.
Judith Jwate, the City Community Development Officer, warned the families against violence with the enactment of the Gender-Based Violence Ordinance and operationalization of the City Court.
We now have a City Court that has become operational, and many of these issues will be settled in the City Court. We wouldn't want any of us to be victims of these circumstances, because one, when a father is put behind bars, the family also suffers. So it's upon us at household level, the man, the woman, the children, to have a peaceful coexistence so that we avoid issues of GBV in our families.
Senior Superintendent of Police Jimmy Anguyo, the head of gender of West Nile region, raised concerns of culture which is heavily derailing justice administration.
Some of you even refuse to report these cases to police. Yes, you refuse to report these cases to police because you feel there is Aruba. Let me tell you, members, there is nothing like I'm also Aruba. There is nothing like Aruba. If I have to ask you the color of Aruba, I don't know what you will tell me. Those things are denying people justice. There is nothing like Aruba. When the case is committed, report.
Kombozi Ismail, the president of Reformed Gangs, the Jajamin Network, attributes the high cases of criminality in the city to non-involvement in policy making.
So today I want to tell you why we have rampant crimes everywhere. It is just because you are not involving the ghetto youths in peace building initiatives. You are not engaging them. Instead of hearing them, you are fearing them. So you talk bad of them. I'm urging the government, I'm urging the authorities to at least engage the youths in building the peace of the city so that they are part of the engagement.
Government can extend the hand to us to skillings, mindset change. Some of us did not go to school, some of us have gone to school. They have to, those who have gone to school, they need to increase their academics to achieve their goals. Those who did not go to school, they need to be taken to vocational skillings and training them, empowering them, sending them back to community. They go to change more other ghetto youths.
Salim Komakech, the resident city commissioner for Arua City, appealed to the citizens to cherish the peace in the country.
So we are an island of peace as a country, and we must thank the government of Uganda for ensuring that we are totally a peaceful country.
The World Peace Day is celebrated annually across the globe on the 3rd of October, and this year Arua City joins the rest of the world to celebrate the day under the theme Cultivating a Culture of Peace. Parish Majid, Okumuringa Christine, for West Nile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories, moving on to Moyo District. During a sensitization meeting with businesswomen on the Grow project at Moyo People's Hall, Mr. Sekamwa Julian, the Deputy Resident City Commissioner, Moyo District, stated that no broker is needed for the generating of growth opportunities and productivity for women growth project in Moyo District. Take a look.
The sensitization meeting comes as a result of the President launching the dissemination of the funds meant for the Grow project on the 28th August this year, which is intended to support and boost the businesses of women across the country so as to empower them economically. Mr. Sekama Julian, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner Moyo, hopes that the women in the district get the funds quickly and boost their businesses, saying the sensitization meeting came timely and will address the issues of some companies and individuals who come to confuse the women acting as brokers for the project, adding that there are no brokers for the GROW project because the government only deals directly with the financial institutions which are mandated to disburse the funds, and urge the women to be positive about the project.
I pray that it all goes well. I pray that the women get the money in time and start the business. At least now this is going to help us and clean the community of the unsuspecting members that were beginning to come and start brokering this program. Telling the women that we are the ones in charge, we can connect you. No, there is no brokers in this business, in this program. It is purely government and its implementing partners that it has introduced to the people. So that is exactly what we are doing today. Thank you.
Mr. Dima Stephen Logi, the district labor officer who doubles as the district focal point person for the GROW project in Moyo, gave details on the project and the targeted people, including the duration of the project.
The project development objective is to increase access to entrepreneur services that enable female entrepreneurs to grow their enterprises in targeted locations, including in host and refugee districts. The project cost is US dollars 217 million shillings. Yes, 17 million. And it is for both refugees and host communities. The financing modality is by World Bank, which is in the form of grant.
Honorable Batio Rozipe, the female district councillor representing Meto Sub-County to Moyo District, who mobilized the women, urged the women to take the project serious, saying she is well aware that the women had benefited from other government programs, but believes the GROW project will be the most suitable for the women. She therefore implores them to own the project and make good use of the money.
We have benefited from various projects like PDM, Dr. Deep, and what have you. So GROW alone also is going to deal like PDM, but GROW enterprise is more good and more benefitable than PDM and other projects as have estimated. Therefore, my appeal to my women is, let's take the project as our own project.
Mrs. Abala Christine, the director, Upendo kwa Kazi Women Empowerment Organization Uganda, a non-governmental organization which advocates for the rights of women, who lobbied for the banks to come to sensitize the women about the project in Moyo, urged the women not to fear going for these loans, but they should not rush for the project and be very calculative, adding that should the women face challenges during repayment, they should not run away but approach them so that they will be able to go together to the bank to explain themselves.
They should not be scared. One, the very patience that we have, because we are patient people, naturally, we take one step at a time. Let's do the same with this project. Let's not rush for it. It sounds very exciting, but let's articulate while assessing ourselves as well, our businesses, and then we organize ourselves step by step. Then please don't be scared to take the loan. Fortunately enough, it's from the government through the World Bank. Take this loan. Please, let's not use it for other things. You know, we love being beautiful and giving ourselves the best things. Let's not misuse the money. Let's use the money for the business, because once the business is expanding, it is growing, you're making more profits, then you can enjoy the profits and you'll be a happy world.
The GROW project is an initiative of the government of Uganda with fundings from the World Bank, which is aimed at supporting women in business, both nationals and refugees across the country, so as to empower them economically. The support comes in form of a loan and can be accessed through banks and financial institutions with a rate of 10.5% per annum and a loan repayment period ranging from 6 months to 2 years. The loan range is from 4 million to 200 million shillings. The project is expected to end by December 2027. Dominic Antonio Kumu, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
More in our stories. Moving on to Nebi District, Caritas Uganda held an agroecology and exhibition day in Erusi Sub-County, Nebi District. During the event, farmers exhibited their skills of commercial farming and testimonies on how the initiative has changed their livelihoods. Alfred Jawok reports.
Over 15 farmer groups in Erusi Sub-County attended agroecology and exhibition day held on Wednesday, 2nd October at Erusi Sub-County headquarters. During the event, farmers exhibited their skills of commercial farming, which changed their livelihoods. George Welmoto, representative of Caritas Nebi, revealed that the exhibition day is to showcase new methods of modern agriculture, as many farmers only depend on food crop production.
We have exhibition. We have 15 farmer groups here. Of the 15 farmer groups, each farmer has 30 members represented. Now we are here to have this event take place, so much so that people learn in depth what agroecology is. And we invited a facilitator who is well versed with what we know about agroecology.
Wilfred Obedi-Roth, secretary of Melbourne Farmers Group in Padolo Parish, Erusi Sub-County, narrated how Caritas empowered local farmers to practice modern agriculture.
Wabinu Chalo Group ni timo exhibition Sub-County ma Caritas tingwa tika ponjwa kitemo mako wa dok ni formation maju furu mumbe yat mande wapit kodi magiri ngom karakap lembe pekutie kodi chagenwangri ni agitie ngom.
Wilfred, secretary of Melbourne Farmers Group in Padolo Parish, Erusi Sub-County.
Mange Caritas utika ponjwa ni nyang kit ngom mako gwo kodo ngom man kitemo chopo gwo kodo shwishi motieko wa kodo nyote ni shwinyo maje ni wangu yugi nyoni ngondo yedi ko piny mangema tong man kitema wachopo kwoko ber watieka furu meda watieka furu kodhi matong ngor wafuru piny matong watieka furu gimi waponji de yore matong gwen diegi kodangoza watieka pidho maber.
These highlights government initiatives and policies promoting sustainable agriculture. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving on in our stories tonight, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has called for harmonized regional justice systems as to bring the services closer to the people. During the same event, the Chief Justice Alphonse Owin Odolo of Uganda urged his counterparts to adopt the ADR, which as means of delivering faster and more efficient justice. Take a look.
The need for a synchronized justice system that integrates African traditional modes of justice with European systems has been emphasized. This was articulated during the opening ceremony of the Southern and East African Chief Justice Forum taking place in Uganda. The forum, attended by Chief Justices and legal professionals from 16 African states, aims to improve judicial efficiency and explore alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoy Owing-Dolo of Uganda urged his counterparts to adopt alternative dispute resolution mechanisms as a means of delivering faster and more efficient justice. President Museveni stated that it is important to incorporate traditional African systems of justice into the European model. He said this can help resolve many of Uganda's issues in a more timely and culturally relevant manner. Concerns over insecurity in various African states were also raised, identified as a significant barrier to the administration of justice. Political instability and conflict were cited as factors hindering progress and leaving citizens without the justice they deserve, highlighting Uganda's success with alternative dispute resolution. Chief Justice Owingdolo noted that the judiciary has resolved 237 cases since adopting this method, including 37 from the Supreme Court. However, he acknowledged the slow process of incorporating articulating dispute resolutions into the legal framework. Mbeki Mafalala, Chief Justice of Eswatini and chairperson of the forum, expressed concerns regarding the lack of separation of powers in many African countries. He pointed to governmental interference as a source of judicial inefficiency, which leads to poor working conditions, low pay, and threats against judiciary members. The six-day forum will engage in further discussions on adopting alternative dispute resolution methods and strengthening the rule of law across Africa. The Southern and East Africa Chief Justice Forum serves as an annual platform for judicial leaders from 16 African countries to discuss common legal challenges and enhance cooperation for improving the efficiency and independence of judiciaries across the continent. Masi Draru, Nile Cast.
The European night still continues. I mean UEFA Champions League, Europa Conference and UEFA Europa League, and also StarTimes Uganda Premier League continuing, not forgetting about. I can confirm to you the biggest story on African soil rather, as far as sports is concerned, is all about Ali Cisse being relieved of his role as the head coach of Senegal, the Lions of Teranga. I am talking about the country of Senegal. Let's go systematically, and we'll start with the stories that happen within the country. Like I said earlier on, it's all about match day 4 of StarTimes Uganda Premier League. I can confirm to you, Hoima-based club called Airtel Citara, this time they are not performing very well. And yesterday, in fact today, there was a very huge game between the Cops. I'm talking about the team of police up against the Ankole Lions rather, Airtel Citara. In the process, police went away to Hoima, managed to ace them by a goal to nil. As I talk right now, there is a game going on. 30 minutes already been played in the game between Express and NEC, and Express is leading NEC by 2 goals to nil. Remember, NEC, they had already played 3 games. They have 9 points. That means they had been unbeaten. In case it's going to end like this, as Express beats them at the end of the 90 minutes, it's going to be their first defeat of the season. I am talking about the team of NEC. And yesterday, there was also a game being played between the team of Bara City and Bull. Bara City went away to Jinja, the home of Das Bull, managed to ace them by 2 goals to nil. Like I said earlier on, let's now jet continental, and we'll look at what is happening in continental stories. All about what is happening on Senegal soil, all about Ali Cisse, the head coach of Senegal, being relieved of his role as the head coach of the Lions of Teranga. He had spent so many years with the team of that Senegal. Remember, he first joined the club as the coach of under 23 and was part of the team that managed to reach to the Olympics. That was way back in 2013. After that, he was promoted as the head coach of senior team of Senegal, and in the process, he managed to win African Cup of Nations for the first time for Senegal when they beat Egypt in the finals of 2021. And also before that, in 2019, Senegal finished as the runners-up when they also proceeded up to the finals of African Cup of Nations. By then, it was against Algeria. And also in his regime, he managed to also take Senegal to World Cup of 2018 and also the World Cup of 2022, in which the one of 2018 they remained in the group stages, but the recent one of 2022 they managed to proceed up to the round of 16, where they were actually knocked by the Three Lions. I am talking about the team of England. Now they are set to play in international games, of course, African Cup of Nations qualifiers. That means they are in market looking for a new head coach, but now they will need to get at first an interim coach to manage the games that are coming ahead of the country, that's Senegal, as they keep on looking for a permanent manager there. Let's leave that one there before we talk about the games set to be played tonight and also some of the games that we have played yesterday in European night. A very big story here. It might be an exciting moment for the fans of Solanke. Dominic Solanke, the former player for the team of Chelsea who went to Liverpool, coming to Bournemouth, being signed by the team of Spurs. Currently he's playing for the team of Spurs and now earning his first call in the squad of England. That's Dominic Solanke. He has been in prolific form, firing so many goals last season, and right now he's also on form for the team of Spurs. Let's now leave that one there and we take a look at the fixtures to be played in UEFA Europa League and in Europa Conference. Let's first take a look at the games to be played in UEFA Europa League. The biggest game coming tonight will be at 10 p.m. between Porto and the team of Manchester United, and this game will be at Estadio Dragao. Apart from that, other games, we are just some few minutes away for the kickoff of some of the games, and the early kickoff games are at a quarter to the hour of 8 p.m. And these are some of the games. I may not be in position to give you all, just selected ones. Ferencváros of Hungary is taking on the team of Spurs that comes from England. Meanwhile, Dynamo Kiev is traveling away to Hoffenheim as Lazio Roma welcomes Nice of France. And meanwhile, for Midtjylland, that comes from Denmark, they will be visiting Maccabi Tel Aviv, that comes from Israel. And Olympiacos Peru will have to stay in Greece as they will say hi to the Sporting Braga of Portugal. For Malmo of Sweden, they are taking a trip away to Das Karabakh. Meanwhile, RFS is welcoming Galatasaray. For Ajax Amsterdam, they are taking a trip away to Slavia Prague in Czech. For Athletic Bilbao, they will have to say hi to Das Eze Alkmaar. Meanwhile, Eintracht Frankfurt is going away to Turkey to take on Besiktas. Like I said earlier on, Porto up against Manchester United, and lastly, Olympic Lyon up against the team of Rangers. These are the games set to be played in UEFA Europa League tonight. Meanwhile, in some of the selected games in UEFA Europa Conference, Legia Warsaw of Poland is welcoming Real Betis of Spain. Meanwhile, the biggest game is actually between Chelsea as they take on Gent of Belgium. For TNS. For the first time, TNS of Wales is travelled away to Fiorentina of Italy, and Shamrock Rovers of Republic of Ireland is welcoming Apoel Nicosia of Cyprus. And the last game is actually between Hearts, that comes from Scotland, as they take on Dynamo Minsk of Bulgaria. And now let's look at the father of European football. I am talking about UEFA Champions League. It was a bad omen for the team of Los Blancos, that's Real Madrid, as they lost the game yesterday night into the hands of Lille. Meanwhile, for Girona, they were at home and they were beaten by Feyenoord by 2-3. For Atalanta, they ran riot over Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine, demolished them by 3-0. For Aston Villa, they produced the magic yesterday night, edging out Bayern Munich by 1-0. The biggest scoreline registered yesterday night was between Soccer Lisboa Benfica up against Atletico. The game ended by 4-0. For AS Monaco, they managed to produce a 2-2 tie with the team of Dynamo Zagreb. Like I said earlier on, Lille of France surprised the world, edged Real Madrid by 1-0. Liverpool were 2-0 winners over Bologna of Italy. The game was at Anfield. For Juventus, they had a red card, but they managed to overcome a side called RB Leipzig, that comes from Germany. And the last game was actually between underdogs, that's Club Brugge up against Sturm Graz, that comes from Austria, and Club Brugge edging out Sturm Graz by 1-0. Let's close the chapter there. It has been me, Benson Pastore. Let's link up again tomorrow, still at the same time, same face, same program of what is called NILE Sports, which continues to be under the umbrella of the biggest of it called NILE News.
Thank you, Rako Benson Pastore, for that.